Hey, my field of sunflowers. Welcome back to another video from the Scratcher Girls ASMR and More channel. I'm back with my cup of tea with a little ASMR there. I have some spa music playing in the background. And I actually have the picture of the author of the music in the background or at the end of the video. But for those of you who never make it to the end of the video, this music is actually compliments of Nature Healing Society. It's their copyright-free music, and this is what we've been playing as of lately. So we hope that you enjoy it. So I want to talk to you about mental health, although we touch on it every now and again in our videos. But May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And so I thought, what better time to discuss some of the things that I go through or deal with on a mental and emotional capacity, as well as you guys. Because guess what? If you live on this planet, then you, of course, deal with some type of mental or emotional struggle, especially when dealing with other people, right? So, most certainly, we all have our own brands of anxiety or what have you. So, there are many different personality disorders that we all come to encounter on a daily basis, right? You have individuals with ADHD, PTSD, high levels of anxiety. We have to deal with narcissistic individuals every day. And I'm not sure of how many of you are familiar with what a narcissistic individual is, because I know that we have some younger family here. So therefore, we have to kind of touch on it a bit and explain to you what it is we mean. So, first I want to share with you guys that I always tell you, you're stronger than you know. I think that everyone is stronger than they know. I think it's just that one particular thing that comes to challenge you, and that thing is what could possibly make or break you. It's that thing that may introduce you to who you essentially are, right? So we all have that moment, or we all will face that moment eventually, or that person, if you will. So I have a few, let me tell you a little bit about myself. First off, I am a known empath. And for those of you who are not familiar with what an empath is someone who not only feels for other people emotionally, meaning when they're going through a tough time or, bad things happen to them. You obviously have sympathy, right? You cry tears for them. You feel bad for them. But an empath is someone who takes it deeper, who takes it to the next level. So not only are you feeling sympathy for that individual, but it goes deeper, almost as though you're the one feeling the pain, right? You're putting yourself in that person's shoes. And so you're taking deeper emotionally on that person's behalf. Empaths often attract broken people to them. I have long since known that I was an empath, just going back to my childhood. And you know how I was. I had to experience a great deal of pain myself. And honestly, I think that most empaths themselves go through a great deal of pain or a catastrophic event in their lives that may, in fact, break them or almost break them. And so coming out of that on the other side, still whole, is an amazing thing. So I experienced a great deal of trauma in my life as a young girl before coming to know who I really was or was destined to be. I lost my kitty cat that I couldn't have inside of my home because my mom didn't like animals, unlike myself. And so I would have to care for my little kitty cat outside. And so when I went out one day, well, my cat, I can't remember her name. I'm way older. But I remember going out to feed her, and I saw a car. She used to hide under the cars. And I don't know if she was sick or she was asleep, but a car came, or an individual came out to get into their car, and they essentially ran over my cat. And that was my first experience dealing with, I guess, personal death. And really, seeing the aftermath. It was pretty, I think it was a lot for a kid to handle. I was probably 9 at the time. And the next catastrophic event of loss that I've experienced was my dad. I lost my dad at a young age. I was about 11 when I lost my dad, and unfortunately, I partially witnessed that particular event in my life. So those of you who may have been dealing with that type of loss or pain, I certainly can relate. And then there's a third, which was my brother. I lost my brother to violence as well, although I wasn't around when it occurred to my brother, or when it happened to my brother, but it was pretty tragic. It was pretty intense, pretty violent, And so just going back through the years of my life, I've always been the shoulder to cry on for everyone else, but I found that I could not find that shoulder oftentimes. And I don't know if people, think that, oh, that individual who's the shoulder to cry on, that strong friend, that they don't need that shoulder every now and again. We absolutely do. We do. That's why the saying goes, check on your strong friends, right? Because we're the ones that move about in life as though everything is great, or we have to stay strong or keep it together for you guys or for the ones that, we love and care for. Excuse me. So, yeah. I also find that oftentimes when you're an empath, there are individuals that I mentioned earlier on in the video, narcissistic individuals. They prey on people like us, right? Because we're the ear, we're the shoulder, we're that person that most people come to for comfort, right? Because oftentimes we're the ones that speak life into people, motivate, encourage people. And I like to think that that's what I do in my life. Someone has to do it, right? The one thing about us, we have to be very careful when engaging with people, especially narcissistic individuals, because they are the snipers of the emotional world, if you will. They're looking for their next victim constantly. And I have to say, I have a few of those in my life, and it can be a bit challenging coexisting with them. You either have to find a way to deal with them, or you have to simply walk away, because all it's going to do is make you feel less than. And I can go deeper into the narcissistic psyche or world on another video at another time. But I first just want to help you guys in navigating those times that you deal with those individuals, right? Firstly, know that oftentimes when people are looking to gain something from you, they will manipulate you. They will use their words, to trap you. And, although it feels good, it sounds good, but oftentimes it's not really sincere from those individuals. And I'm not trying to put fear in anyone. I more so want you to be aware, because you have to be aware for your mental health, right? People gaslight you a lot or project their inadequacies onto you. All kinds of things. And you have to be careful, You have to be careful. I do a lot of praying and a lot of searching for the strength, the wisdom in which to move forward in dealing with people. Because let's face it, we have to deal with people every day. Whether it's home, work, the grocery store, we have to deal with people every day. And I believe that when dealing with those people, if we experience, a lack of professionalism or courtesy, I find that a lot of times we take those moments personal, right? Or personally. And don't get me wrong, some people out here are actually really ugly and really mean, right? But oftentimes when we experience people that are just mean or discourteous for no reason, oftentimes it's something that they're dealing with internally that has absolutely nothing to do with us. It's just that they don't know how to channel those emotions properly. They don't know how to leave those deficits and emotions at the door before they show up, right? I've always been taught that when you show up to work, You leave your emotions or your personal baggage at the door. Check it at the door. Then you come in with a spirit of wanting to do your job the best that you can do and being willing to help people, offer excellent customer service. And oftentimes when you learn to do that, you'll find that in the end, although you may have started out in your day as, having a crappy day, but sometimes when you put those things into motion, you may find a little blessing throughout your day. You just never know. But we have to stop making those times about us. Because sometimes people are silently dealing with things that we may never ever know. So just us not taking their behavior personal and maybe just continuing to smile or even still use our kindness towards them. And maybe even sometimes asking them how their day is going. You'd be so surprised at how much that would mean. Hey guys, it's Mother Scratch here. I'm a little bit under the weather, so please pardon me. But we have lovely Gabriella here. She is a fellow Floridian, and she found us on YouTube?
YouTube, yeah.
Yeah, she found us on YouTube. Yay, YouTube. And she decided to come in and book herself a 1-hour session. And I just want Gabriella to tell you guys what her experience was from YouTube versus being here in the flesh. Go, girl.
It's obviously nothing like can compare to you being on the table, but everything you see that they do on YouTube and Instagram, where they get your ears and your face and your scalp and tracing your hands, they did it all. So I was hoping, what to expect, like what I was thinking I was gonna expect, but then once you're here, it's so much better than what you're seeing. So you have to do yourself that favor and come in here. Like if you're thinking about it, like I was waiting on it because I wanted to give myself a little gift after graduation. I was waiting on it, but you just gotta go for it and come here and get yourself over here because it is amazing.
Thank you. So you graduated already?
I did recently graduate. Yeah. Thank you so much.
That was amazing. I wish we had known. As we try to do, sometimes we do little special things for our guests if we have a heads up as far as what's going on in their lives, because we like to celebrate, everyone, aside from making them feel, I guess, well and happy and zen. We like to make people feel special. So yes, guys, thank you so much. You got to come in and try it for yourself. All right, Mother Scratch, and we are out.